Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23 Lions, episode 120. Tour de France, part number 2. We had a fantastic start. We won 2 stages already of this race, and we are in the top 10, following the one and only time trial of this, which is our weakest component, besides the ability to actually lead the race. We don't have the support riders. We don't have the flat-rated domestiques. No, Kareem, for example. This is a simple stage as far as stages go, with relatively small amount of undulation along the way. But 2 things make this challenging. 1, the breakaway, which had 7, it's already down to 5 now. Incredible strength. Ethan Hayter as one example, but there's 3 or 4 very strong riders in that breakaway today. And they had a healthy advantage. They had a quite healthy advantage before. That's one challenge. Second challenge, nearly 250 kilometers for this stage. It's a very long stage. So by this point, protected or not, fatigue sets in bigger, harder, stronger than it would normally. We've got 2 climbs left to go. This is the bigger one, and we want to definitely set ourselves up to hold position. Mohira is the most tired so far. We'll go ahead and have him use his gel now. Isaacs, Benuna, Hinoke, the other domestiques. We'll go ahead and get all 3 of their gels going at this point. The more of them that makes it over this climb, the easier it'll be to handle that finishing climb. And we would like to begin our move just before the top of this climb. Schielmosa has already begun a little bit earlier than what my plan was, and we might need to respond to this now, and we do. It's too much quality, too many riders attacking. Like I said, I wanted to do it just before the top of this climb. We're about to descend for a moment and then go up for the last little bit steeply. It's actually probably a pretty good time to get things going. It's still 20k out, but there's a good amount of descending the rest of the way. And that last little hill and the finishing climb, there is a little hill at the finish line, but it's just at the end. So Bahira, we'll see what he can do with a 99, but we'll line up guys like Isaacs and Benuna. Benuna, we don't want to lose time, so he'll make a quick turn. Actually, we'll probably have him go second and then just drop in line. And stay on Arab's wheel. Matoni, Samuels both look very strong today. Arab +3 for him is still good, but obviously could be better when he's expected to have a +5 daily. But Mohira, get us over this first part to the base of the next one. Those guys do gain about 20 seconds there, but then we can put our foot down with Benuna now. So we'll go 97 already. Cluckers, that's from the breakaway. Okay, Benuna, go ahead and drop to the back. Mohira's already out of energy. Group has not thinned out yet. There's Uchabrooks, there's a Venipol. Benuna just about hanging on here. We're down to 1 last rider off the front, and it's just right there. So Isaacs, Hinoke, not much left in the tank for them, and we've split off the field a Shimway. 16 riders. Isaacs, Hinoke, let's try to get them onto the back of this thing. And it's now a front 15. 33-second advantage. This could be a big moment. About a 30-second gain potential. Shimway sprinting. Still 9k to go overall, but this is the key to this all succeeding. Shimway. Drop in line. Oh, Matoni quit attacking. He ended his sprint. And that allowed 3 riders to get a little gap on us. But Matoni, sit up. Leknasund, Sheffield, Vingegaard, Pidcock. Leknasund is riding, so let him ride. Matoni. I already said to sit up. You're not following anyone anymore. Let these guys get back in contact and make others chase. Now there's a solid gap. That's 22 chasing 7. And the front 7 have come together. 5.7K. Just another refresher. We've got a little uphill swing here in a moment. Then it's going to drop down quick. Another little saddle, drop down, and then it's a little uphill finish. It's close enough to definitely gel up. And what about sprint? Well, we have to ride for Arab, right? He's the overall for this race. But just be in line for a moment. Behind and chasing. We're well positioned if it does come back together. All right, 3K. We will come forward with Samuels in a moment. 2.5K. Okay, now's a good time for him to come forward. And you're seeing 2 riders attacking. 1.7K. It is together. And there is Matoni. He's going to do his own attack here. Arab 1.1. With the uphill, it's going to be a little hard to sprint through there and get a top 3, especially when we don't have a proper sprint contention. Everybody needs to be sprinting. I just forgot about the last guys there. But our whole team is super well placed here. Sheffield takes the win. Hagita, Van Aert. But there's Arab 5th. You have Samuels is 14th. These gaps all just closed, but there could have been a gap right behind Samuels, actually. And then there's a definite gap to that group. There's a definite gap to that group of 4, which is all teammates. Sivikov was at the back of it. Aragave just lost a bunch of time, and that's a lot more separation than I expected for this stage. We created a lot of that chaos and did well with it, as you know, all but 2 of our riders ended up in the top 21 for the stage. Excellent result. No time gaps across the front. The first time gap comes after 24th. Surprising, but it was only a punchy stage. Medium mountain, we would have seen 4 or 5 groups across that first 24. But there's definite time gaps to others, and could be some big names caught out, you know, like a Matteo Jorgensen, who just won Paris-Nice. So in the GC, following that, a little change at the top. Paulus and Arensman were the key guys missing out. Vanderpool missed out a bit there as well. And then you really see it open up outside of the top 20. But Arab moves up a spot to 7th. Matoni moves up to 8th. Benuna moves up to 11th. Shimway jumps 12 spots to 19th. And we're looking already at 3-minute gaps by that stage in the standings. Evenepoel still leads from Almeida and Pogacar, but this is a very good spot to be in. We've got 3 guys right around 1 minute down. There's no pressure on our team right now. We're not considered big threats. We are on paper just as much as we are in real life, weaker than those around us, and that could give us an opportunity at the right place at the right time to make an attack, especially with somebody like, say, a Shimway could attack and gain some time and maybe go win a stage. Benuna is far enough down and certainly wouldn't be considered a threat that if he's got a +5 again, you could see him do well. Speaking of +5, we're now up to 3 of the riders in the group, including Arab, that are on those fitness peaks and expecting those +5s daily. Stage 8. 50 kilometers to go on this one, but we've got 3 climbs back to back to back, with the elevation just getting higher and higher and higher with each. But we finish on a descent, so that'll be an interesting way to wrap this one up. The breakaway, kind of large. The breakaway, incredibly strong. They drop a few of the weaker riders already, but we're looking at Ben O'Connor, Nielsen Palace, Van Gils, Champison, Sheffield, all in that breakaway today. So a good 4 or 5 of the riders that are left are all capable of winning a stage any day, any time. And for this first one, Samuels has a -3 today, so Good thing he's not the guy we're riding for. He is looking incredibly weak for this one and playing the role of domestique as we are 1k from the top. I'm not going to gel up for any of these guys. I'm hoping that Mohira and Samuels hang on. Samuels is the one most in danger. Mohira was a little further up and runs out of energy a little bit later. We're already down to 100 in the peloton, so it is shrinking. We're also down to 6 off the front. Samuels will make it over the top still here. We did have some guys that went backwards as we were trying to conserve some energy on this first climb. So we need to recover position, and we need to get guys like Mohira and Samuels back forward again. But only 3 additional riders were dropped in that last 600 meters plus the over the top. Now can we pull it back together? And how much recovery can we get for the next climb? Because that is going to be the key to our success on a day like this. Arab's got a +5, but what kind of support will he have as we go along? These tend to be the hardest kind of stages, with the back-to-back climbs, difficult climbs with a incredibly deep field and a shorter stage. So we had such a long stage yesterday. Today was, 130k. So with very little rest, very little recovery, we hit the base of the next climb. Still stretched a little. It's mostly back to the front, but we're still a little bit stretched. And Samuels, Mohira, like no recovery at all. And most of these guys are now looking like they're toast. Can we even get to a Shimway? Is there? Samuels is the furthest back. Ahead of him, you have Matoni. Matoni is being protected by Hanoke. So Hanoke, we're going to make a quick switch. Protect a Shimway. So Samuels can protect Matoni and not have as far to go. Isaacs is a domestique. Mohira, gel for you. Hanoke and Isaacs will need to gel, but not yet. The 78's not going to work anymore either. Pidcock attacking this far out along with Moss. That's crazy that they are attacking this early. There's got to be a response, right? So far there's not. They caught Shampison, who got dropped from the main group. Already down to 89. Shampison got dropped by them. He's going to get caught here soon by the group. Minute 12 to those guys, plus another minute to the others. Now the next climb is the one you want to do something. It's the Colombier. 7k, 9%. Leknesund, Roland on the attack. Had no response yet either, so cannot let this distance go out. Right now it's not. Samuels, Mohira have been dropped. 4k from the top. We can take a second do this without pausing. Nothing crazy is going to happen. Down to 74. Isaacs, Hanoke. Alright, it's now front 8. So those first 2 have caught. The other 2 are still in no man's land in between. But that's a dangerous number of riders that are up there. But I have a plan. We have 4 guys. We have 4 guys that will be good to go for that next climb, and we're going to try. We're not going to try to keep 2 guys that aren't in. We're going to set Arab up for a very, very small finish. Isaacs has been dropped. Hanoke is about to get dropped. Group's already down under 50. Now 43. Big acceleration. Take our 4. Speed up. Don't get dropped. Don't have to be at the front. We have the descent to recover the position. But the big acceleration is pulling back a lot of those guys. The 2 minutes is now 1 minute. The 10 riders is now 7. There's 3 that are about to be reeled in. And we're suddenly down to 31. We just pulled in those 3 at the front. So 34 riders here. Short descent. It's not a lot of recovery that's coming in. It's only 20 seconds to the front 7. Okay. Tony, gel now, and get up there. You're going to go first. He's the one who's 8th overall, but we are riding for Arab. We are not riding for these other guys. Benona, get up there. Shimway. Tony's still trying to get him into position. And it's all together at the front, 37, but you're seeing 3 riders, including a leader, on the march. 5.5K. This is the important part. It's 5K. So I think pushing this hard is perfectly appropriate. This group will thin. It already has thinned, at least by a few riders. Matoni one of them, though. 34 and 1. 4K from the top. And that's it for Benuna. It's 13 chasing 6 now. And we're about to see that thin out even further. A Shimway comes to the front, so nobody is away. We have a group of just 15 riders, but it's still 2.5K. And Arab does not have 2.5K worth of climbing legs left in him. Pitcock leading Martinez, Evenepoel, Vingegaard, Pogacar. 6 riders going clear. Arab can make a move before the top here and has to now. Just catch that rider. There you go. Hold position. Shimway. So there's 11 riders up there. We're in the second group. The Shimway's pushing. Arab's trying to hang on. It's 7 chasing 5. They can definitely catch the 5, but Arab who still had a gel too. 81 downhill. Gel. A Shimway is over the top as well. He's not the next rider. No, he is the next rider. White. That's why I'm seeing white instead of blue. A Shimway has... They both have an 81 downhill today. And we are going to have to take a little bit of a risk here to sprint and make up some ground on these guys. We need to do the same thing here with the Shimway. Arab nearly gotten there. He's actually still trying to sprint here. He's just 25 seconds down now. Okay, sprinting flat out now, 1.8K. Inside 1K. Front 5. Pogacar, Martinez, Petrovic, Evenepoel, Vingegaard. The next group, we definitely gained some ground on them, and overall it's a minute. It's 1 minute. Shimway is the next one. Big gaps there, and Shimway is very much still in contention. 2K. Benuna needs to start his sprint. We still haven't even gotten to 20. Now we do. We finally get to 20, and Benuna is next. Not a great day there, because if Arab's in Group 2, I think he's just fine. Small seconds lost to a few guys. Just missing that Group 2. Just losing contact at the top. That hurt. And that's what I was saying earlier. The base of the second climb. These stages don't suit us. The huge advantage of the attribute bonuses that everybody else has suits them for this profile. One climb, setting up one climb properly, is very different than back-to-back-to-back climbs with the kind of bonuses that they have. They just don't feel it the way you feel it, and especially when it's a shorter stage and the tempo's higher. Right? Preparation is so huge for these. The back-to-back-to-back nature just doesn't allow you to prepare. It doesn't allow you to set up recovery in between, and you always come in a little bit weaker. And we tried to recover position over that second climb or over the first climb, and never did get back where we needed to be to set ourselves up for the second climb properly. That close to being exactly where we needed to be, and instead Arab loses over a minute. Oh, well, he was 30 seconds down on these guys and closed it up. He ended up just 18 seconds down. So he did make progress on the descent. He did close the gap on the descent. But that first group went away nice and fast. It's going to hurt compared to those five. Shimway at 211, 253, 339. Opens very, very quick, eliminating a lot of riders. This could be both good and bad for Arab because some of these riders were not right there with us. Some of these riders were further down. Some. So subtract a few of them. I could see us still being right around 8th place. Fingers crossed. I'm not sure that that's going to be the case. It could be lower. I doubt we're moving up. I highly doubt that we're moving up. But this is going to separate a lot of riders from contention. And while this hurt a little bit, it did not eliminate Arab at all. Kept him right in his position. No change. It's 7th, not 8th. We moved up once on the previous, and Ashimwe moves up. He was the one who was 19th, so he moves up to 11th. Baguna drops to 16th. 6 minutes down. Whew. Okay, so quickly we're down to 10 riders in contention. Shimway, with a smart attack, could get back in there because he's 5 minutes down, but outside of the top 10, and probably could attack and gain time in one of those later stages. Benuna is close enough to be able to do the same sort of thing. But all of a sudden, yeah, you're down to just 10 riders, 3.5 minutes, 3:18, 3:05, and then Arab at 2:08. So 7 riders are in a bit better, stronger position. Evenepoel still leads. Pogacar moves up a spot to 2nd. Vingegaard is 3rd, so an incredibly strong, apt top 3. And then Almeida and Leknesund and Brambilla are incredibly strong themselves. And then you're looking at, Pitcock and Arnsman, Petrovic, who have, with bonuses, better ratings than Arab, but not by much. But Palace being 5 minutes down, and Martinez being 5:17 down, and Vlasov and Roland, that's why we didn't lose position, right? Some of the guys that were up there were well down already. But I think probably the top 4 in particular are going to be the ones that are definitely out of our reach, right? We're looking at a minimum 85 mountain to all of the top 6, where we have a 79. Arab 7th might be actually the prime spot as this race continues and goes on. That might be about as good as we're going to get. Under 25s, Brambilla has moved into the lead on that one, taking the jersey away from Arab by just 10 seconds. He's the one we're going to want to try to do something against. Petrovic is there too, though. Those are 2 very dangerous riders. And then we've got a huge gap to Bermudez. And, hey, we've got 5 of the top 8 riders in the under 25s classification. So that part's awesome. But it'd be nice if we got back into the number 1 spot because it is worth points. And Morocco with a training level of like 3. Arab's already picked up really solid points this season, but if he can, say, win an under 25s here, and especially if he can wear the jersey most of the race, these 2 are going to be really hard to beat. But if he can, he could earn some really solid points for Morocco. Benuna winning a stage is really solid points for Morocco. So, but it's down to the individual for that one, isn't it? Stage 9, meaning we've got a rest day coming after this, which is definitely nice. Another difficult stage and another short one. It's another under 150k stage that puts a lot of pressure on a team like ours. The setup, we're just not built for the short stages, or at least the difficulty level is not built for the short stages. Breakaway's got a huge advantage and plenty of talent in it today, which is definitely going to make it tricky as Isaacs is going back to get us water. Peloton already shrinking in size. this is going to come down to this next climb. This is going to decide this race. First climb was not made easy. It was pretty challenging, but was that about establishing the break? They've got 7 minutes now. We're setting a steady tempo. They're split up now. There's really just a few riders at the front and 4 riders chasing that might be still in contention. The others have been dropped away. So if that's going to slow their pace down, and if we just hold them steady, if we stay at 95 riders for a while here, I like our chances today. But right now it's not looking that way, right? The fatigue is setting in. 77 is seen as drift back. If we take it easy here, and we've got a full team for the final climb, I think we can handle it. Especially with a nice long descent. Go into it fresh. Go into it with a full team. We can manage the climb, and we can get Arab to the end. He's got a +5. He should be strong. But there's at least 10 riders in this field with an 81 mountain rating. Because you look at the list of favorites as the stage is loading. There's 10 riders listed with either an 83, an 82, or an 81 mountain rating. He's good. He's got a 79. But they all have a +4 additive on top of that. So 85 is the minimum. Okay, Isaac's 3K from the top. He's going to get dropped. He's not going to make it. Hinoke is. 81's okay. Matoni, Benuna, iffy here. It's still 2K from the top. Samuels, another negative race day condition, but only a -1. He's not going to make it over the top. I mean, could you imagine? It's like we've relied so heavily on Samuels for years, and this is what he's become. 3 riders out the back. Benuna, about to make it 4. It's still 1K from the top. There's your KOM guy, but he's got a 70 mountain. That's Vanderpool. Very punchy, and sprinty. A lot of key guys gone. We're down to 50 in the peloton already on this climb, and we're down to 4. And there's almost no recovery before we go over the next one. We really need all 4 of these guys, so I'm going to try. Keyword. Very keyword here. I need 4 riders. I do not need Arab with 1 guy left for the final climb. We desperately need 4 riders. So we are going to hope to get all 4 over the top of the next climb, and the best way to do that is let them ride solo. None of them are looking incredibly strong. Shimway and Arab are looking stronger. In theory, I probably should be taking Hinoke and Matoni and protecting Arab and Shimway. We have 6K to go on the climb. I'm hoping that the tempo is not going to be bad, and that all 4 can make it, and that I'm not risking losing all 4 of them on this climb. As for the break, did we just see a rider attack? No. Uman just went forward and did what he could. As for the break, Civica, 18th overall, and he's been dropped. Moss is an 80. Palace, only a 76. He's punchy. Okay. Then the top 3, Johannesson, he's a 79. I mean, he's largely a cross between Arab and Samuels. DeLorme, he's an 81. 39th overall, he's got an 81 mountain. Bentolet just went over the top first. He's a stronger puncher and must be on a +5. He's 20th overall. 522 to those guys. Were any of them a threat in the GC? Civikov is coming back towards us. It's really just these front 3 that are far enough out. And 20th, 8 minutes. Winning the stage is a possibility there, but we got all 4 over the top. That was the key, was getting the 4 over the top. The pace did lift. I think we dropped a couple more guys, though. We're down to 33. It was 35, wasn't it? So 2 more did drop off, but our 4 guys got there. I need water. Matoni. or we're in for a 20K climb. It's not gonna come down to that. Those two got back in contact, and it was a team leader pulled back by a teammate. But we've got everyone back to full strength, our 4 guys, that is. And then we'll do what is expected here on this next one. Matoni, protect protect Arab. And then Henok will protect Ashimwe. We've got water. Okay, 2 guys. We'll do that standard mountain climbing. 85. Though Arab's stronger medium mountain too. And then Ashimwe is, what's his medium mountain like? He's got an 80 there, 81 on the mountain, so they're pretty balanced. They could definitely go harder than an 85 if necessary, but this is a climb where you don't want that. Still 5 minutes ahead. Those front 3 are back together. Same guys still in the gaps in between, but their gaps are holding pretty steady. Sivakov's going to come back pretty quickly, and I would imagine with all that time he just spent on the flat and then going solo there, he's not going to last in the peloton too long. You'll see Sivakov go out the back, and that's guy just outside of the top 10, so that's going to hurt him. What was he, 12th? Something like that? Tony, look at the weakest gel for him. 16K still to go on the climb, 17 on the stage, so there is a little bit of a flat at the top to the finish after the climb. Auto forehand for Matoni. Paulus out the back with him, down to 29. Carapaz hangs on. Looked pretty clear he was going out the back. Slow this thing down. Went through a flat section there. We're into the final and steepest 7K of this climb, and everybody's looking a little weak at this point. 3 minutes to those front guys, so we've pulled back a couple on them here, and it's coming down pretty quick, and the group is starting to thin. 28 riders. Henok is protecting the wrong guy. Crap. Shimwe, get up there. Here we go. There goes the leaders, and look how weak we are with 5K to go. We can't go with them. Henok is going to begin fading. We will replace him with a Shimwe in a moment. We'll do that now. Gel. Henok not getting dropped here, but the gap to those guys is getting huge. It's 2 minutes to the front. It was 6 riders that went clear. Oh, it's coming down though. It's coming down, but there goes the energy. 2 minutes to the 2K to the top. That is 9 riders chasing. Shimwe will stay with us no matter what. Arab is the leader for this race. It's all together. At least there's that. It is all together with 1.5K to go. Delorme attacking, going for the stage. He's going to get it. Pogacar attacks, and this is where we're in trouble. But now we're just 3K from the finish, and we're not going to lose anywhere near as much time as it was looking like we would lose a moment ago. Almost to the top, almost to the top. Shimwe gets dropped. Arab is solo. 1.9K. Try to hang on. It's Van Aert, it's Vlasov, and Bernal. Shimwe is just behind. Venepul wins the stage ahead of Pogacar. Delorme only got 3rd. And Arab, give me something. A little push. Give me a few seconds back. 16th on the stage. Shimwe. A little bit of time loss again. Very, very strong, powerful Tour de France field. And right now it's looking like even just a top 10 is going to be a challenge. I would imagine 7th is not going to be our position now, but that was relatively small losses. Remember, it was all together with 2K to go, and like 1.8 of that was flat. So we lucked out that it came back together and that the gap here is going to be relatively small. Still a gap though. So it's Evenepoel by 12 seconds to the 6 that followed, and then 26, 34, 40, 59, and a minute and 34 to Arab. Gap's a little bigger than I thought it was. I thought we were about a minute down. It opens up pretty quick. 2:17 to a Shimway, 3:14 to others. Evenepoel leads now by 37 seconds. Minute 21 to Almeida, who moves into the podium spot. Vingegaard slipping off it by 10 seconds for now. Arab only dropped one spot. He's 8th, 3:52 down, hanging in there, but it's a close battle with Pidcock, Petrovic, Arnsman, all within like 20 seconds. Shimway is 13th, 7:21 down. Points right now is Girmay. Tollett owns the KOM at 26 points now. Young Riders is Brambilla now by a minute 18, so we slip a little bit further back and just 2 seconds ahead of Petrovic, but we're still all over that top 8. And we are first as a team, riding well as a whole, as a unit, but not quite enough firepower in the strongman, right? So we're surrounding him with guys who can help and support, but can only help and support so far, and overcoming just the sheer gap from us to those top guys is quite challenging. At this point, I think I will definitely be thrilled if we can keep a top 10 over the course of this race, especially at the last couple stages. I really fear the last couple stages because I think by that point, we won't be getting +5s for Arab. This is what we're doing with a +5. Well, imagine what we're going to be doing when he's got a -3 or -2 or zeros. Not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm looking forward to that rest day and coming back for the... Well, we're not at the halfway point yet, but we're past the third, right? We've had a week plus a weekend, so 2 weekends so far. 9 stages in. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.